Okay, I hit record.
Got
I
free
hit record.
Wi-Fi
You're
anywhere you
live.
go.
You're live.
Um, Now reading 6 and 1 Journey for Past Mistake by Feist. Chapter 1 Prologue. You can read on Royal Road, by the way. Support on page.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh, Legends, an unreliable source of information. History was made by the winners after all. The six elements are what keep our world in balance: earth, water, air, fire, dark, and light. Living beings produce mana of these elements naturally, but few can use what is known as magic. Magic is when a being uses their spiritual body to manipulate the mana at will. This can be used for limitless things, including elemental spells, enchanting, and creation. Since the start of civilization, each race long ago found one of the primordial gemstones of the six elements to call their own. What are gems? One of the children from the small crowd seemed to be
That's
impatient.
me.
The gems are said to transform into the weapon the wielder is most suited to, and each has an incredible, unique power of their own. It is said that in the beginning there were no races, but the six gems over time molded its followers to be more in line with its element. Each race has always had their differences, but most individuals just want peace. The demons and dragonkin, for instance, have been fighting for centuries over resources, land, and who knows what anymore. Over the years, they were almost always at war with each other, until the newest Demon Lord rose to power. Unlike the past Demon Lords, this one used curse techniques to fuel the dark gem of power. The Demon Lord used souls of demon people to give incredible amounts of power while sacrificing all who opposed it, become a tyrannical leader. With this newfound power, the Dragonkin could no longer compete alone against the demons. The demons took everything from the Dragonkin, even their leader, and with it, the fire gem of heat. This threw the world's power balance off, and the demons took advantage of it. They invaded the elves while the surviving Dragonkin joined the Demis. The old elf capital was attacked. At the cost of his own wife and daughter, the elf hero manages to get out with the light gem and the elf chieftain alive. 5 years ago on this day, the great remaining heroes who possessed the power of the gems fought the Demon Lord to stop them from taking the world for themselves. After an honorable, long-fought battle, the heroes fell. If only that were true. A man in the smoke spoke to himself. The old lady who was telling the story paused momentarily and glanced over it after being interrupted, but then continued. But in doing so, man managed to injure the Demon Lord severely, stopping the Demon Lord from fighting on the front lines, and in doing so brought us time. Right now, the demons are still overwhelming us with their power to this day. Wow, is that all of that really true? The old lady chuckled and told the kids. Anything is true if you believe it. The cloaked man walked off in the general direction of the beach. As the evening fell, two men were watching him at a distance from an alley nearby. Hey bro, look at that guy. Dirty Cloak? What about him? Look closer. Is that enchanted? Is he another thief, you think? Look at his boots too. Those were serious money. They start tailing the man. Maybe he's a retired adventurer. In that case, we shouldn't. Nah, I took a look at his face earlier. He's too young. You know what that means. They looked at each other in the eyes and both said, money. After a high five, they went up behind the man and subtly called out to him, hey mister, would you please so kind as to follow us? They showed each a glimmer of their dagger they were both carrying while smirking. Sure, if you make it quick, although it's not like I have anywhere else to do. Man returned the smirk and put down his head, revealing a scar on his neck below his left cheek and short, rugged, dark green hair. He then followed until they were in a dark alley with no people around. The man in front turned around, and the man in the back blocked the way out. I'll spell it out for you since you don't seem to get it. Give us everything you have or die. Sorry, but I have something I can't lose. What's that? You got a death wish? Listen, I don't want any trouble, guys. If you can just let me be, we'll have no problems. will have no problems. You're the one about to have a problem, mister. The two thieves got close to the man with a more serious atmosphere. Last chance. But wait, taking what I've got on me right now won't be worth it. Listen, I know where you two guys like you could get some real money. We're listening. I'm not usually willing to give out this information, but being a thief must be a very stressful and risky job, and I feel bad for you guys. You never know when you're going to get caught, so why take that risk? I know smart, strong fellows like you could be much better in other fields. Have you ever thought about putting that strength and wit of yours into adventuring? Adventuring? Well, I've always wanted to, but in that case, you'll be perfect for it. The man put his hands around the two thieves in a friendly manner. Well, I've got news for you. The three huddled together and looked at each other. Ever since a few years ago, there's been a shortage of soldiers and therefore more monsters around these parts. Right now, becoming an adventurer and taking quests to fight monsters is extremely profitable, and I know you guys have the skills necessary to do it. The two thieves smirked at each other with eyes of gold. We'll do it. That's the spirit. You guys know where the guild is? Yeah, by the market. The man patted them on the back. Go for it. Thanks, mister. We'll see you around. They then waved at each other and parted in different directions. The cloaked man chuckled to himself and made his way to the beach. He strolled down to the edge of the water. It was sunset. The man was sitting on some rocks above the water, thinking. He sat back and watched the sunset. He put his hands together and hunched over while looking at them in defeat. It's been 5 years now, huh? He looked at the stars while only the waves echoed out to him. I'm sorry, The sound of the waves crashing was broken by a soft hymn in the distance. La 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 la.
That's not how it
The
goes.
unforgettable melody of a lullaby could be heard, and the girl sang. Her light blue hair, like a waterfall, shone in the twilight as her enchanting voice soothed the soul. She had fins on the side of her head. She was a merfolk, and she was wearing a frilly breeze skirt with a short top, slightly darker than her hair. Before he too was enchanted by the siren's song. After the song ended, it felt like the world stood still to him. That was. She looked to her right and saw him. They were looking at each other, two deers in each other's headlights. Next up, chapter 2. Yeah, I'm reading all of it. You're welcome.
Thank you. You.
They,
Thank you.
they can't hear you say thank you, but like
No, no, they
you.
can now. I'm recording in
Wait, what?
OBS.
You fixed it. Great. All right. Chapter 2. The Girl by the Ocean. Oh, I didn't say prologue last time, but last one was called prologue. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were. That was the most beautiful thing I've heard. He was serious. So was the atmosphere. From her soft smile, she seemed happy about his reaction. She walked over to the rocks he was on and sat down next to him. My name's Aqua. What's yours? I'm Ray. Ray, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Aqua. I haven't seen you around here before. A traveller? Just passing through. Where to? Nowhere in mind, really. I've been wandering around for the past years, you see. Why's that? I used to have a purpose, now I'm not so sure. Same here, I'm lost with what to do. What happened? I can hear you out if nothing else. It's good to get things off your chest. Really? Yeah. You listen to my story? Of course. Ever since my father, no, before that, my parents and I were always happy, always showing that they loved me. Every day was fun, but when my mother was killed in front of my eyes, it was never the same. After that, I never had a place to call home. So, what have you been doing since then? Well, just trying to survive like everyone else. Right now, all I can do is sing my feelings away. Are you happy living like this? An empty smile emerged from her face. I wish. She looked as if she was about to shed tears, but said into her hands, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. The sun now was beyond the horizon. Ray then took off his cloak and put it around her. You're going to get cold if you stay out here this late. The golden axe on his back was shimmering in the moonlight. Ray turned around to leave, but wait! Aqua had wiped her tears off and grabbed him by the corner of his shirt. That equipment, are you an adventurer? Determination lit up her eyes as she got closer, face to face. Can you help, please? I don't know if I can do that anymore. I have to find out what happened to me and find my sisters. Why would you want my help? No one else will. When my father was killed, me and my sisters, well, I was a prisoner by the demons. I, when our father was killed trying to get us out of here, we went our separate ways as we didn't know what to do. If I can find them, I'll do it. With no hesitation from him, Aqua was stunned for a second. Why'd you help someone like me? Let's just say it's to atone for things that may have been my fault. Well, thank you, Ray. I'll be right back. She ran off and disappeared into the city lights. He looked back, but to no avail. This is probably going to be a while. He decided to just sit back and wait in a small alcove. It's not like he had somewhere to be. The stars above were shining down on him now. Some things never change. With his eyes now closed, he felt something soft behind his head. His senses couldn't tell if it was threatening though. If anything, it was a fully good-natured. A tune he had heard what felt like years ago came back to him. Nostalgia. He was going to put his all into tomorrow. The landscape was darkness ablaze. A girl with siren ears and an obscured face smiled at him, while desperately grasping at the air, the girl disappeared in front of him. Meru? He let out a whisper. When Ray opened his eyes, it was sunrise. He saw Aqua was asleep above him. She had fallen asleep, with him on her lap. Ray stood up and stretched for a moment when he heard a faint yawn behind him. I don't know how to yawn. Okay. Morning. She rubbed her eyes as they slowly widened at him. It wasn't a dream? That's what I should be saying. They each laughed. So what's the plan? From my sisters, I think I know where they roughly would be. How can you be sure? An innocent smirk rose on her face. I know what I would do if I were them. The smartest one of us wouldn't know what to do. Roxy. She's curious by nature. It wouldn't surprise me if she knew exactly what happened to us. But how do you know roughly where she is? With her personality, there's only one place. The Tech City, Alcard. The place with the furthest magitech advancements in the central human territory.
I'm glad
That
to
was
finally hear this from a professional voice actor.
chapter 2. I'm not professional,
Oh, you
okay,
seem
but
like it, dude. You seem like it.
listen, I didn't expect to do a good job here, but okay, anyway. Chapter 3. Preparation and purchases. I haven't read this one yet, so forgive me if it's bad.
Oh, you've technically read it.
Okay, technically, but like, whatever. Alcard A. I think I've been there once a few years back. It's just northwest of Waltz, where we are right now, so I'm sure we could get out there quite fast. But if I remember correctly, the quickest route would be going through Sinfell Forest. I went there years ago, and it was full of forest monsters. Yes, I know what they say about it, but I'm sure we can get through. With your gear, I'm sure we can get through. Okay, you kind of repeated that, but whatever. I haven't told you yet, but I know a fair bit of water magic. Well, I'll be counting on you then, Aqua.
Sound like it's not intentional.
You
That's
too,
intentional.
Ray. Are you
To
ready to
emphasize
go?
the point.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, let's go to a weapon shop first, though. If I'm going to be fighting monsters again, I need a weapon. What about that axe on your back? I can't just use it now, sorry. No, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was that precious. It's fine, just know I can't use it anymore. A curious look came up from her face. The two then walked into the heart of the town. All sorts of people could be seen going about their daily lives. Many different races, many different people. Stalls crowded around for as far as the eye could see. It's busy if ever in the market. Hey, you two! A voice called out to them from the market stall. There was an old demi-guy with grey ears coming from his hair who was selling some meat and veg on skewers. You cute couple over there. Do you want to try any kebabs? The taste full of atmosphere, I assure you. Don't be shy now, mister. If you want to impress your girl here, Here's now the opportunity. It's not like that, but I am kind of hungry. Do you want anything? My treat? No, I'm fine right now, thanks. Her stomach then started to rumble as she turned away from embarrassment. I'll take 2 kebabs. Coming right up, mister. Thanks. She smiled. You're welcome. He smiled back. When they reached the weapons shop, they took a look inside. There was a burly man at the counter wearing a vest. Welcome. All the walls were covered in shields, swords, and all sorts of armor. What are you two looking for today? Just a sword for some monsters. Are you just starting your adventuring career? No, that can't be the case. My appraisal skills are telling me that this is one fine axe you already have. I don't know if I can compete with something like High Quality Boy. Don't worry, I'm not looking for an upgrade. Ah, I see. Well, what do you like? An enchanted one? Just a standard. Maybe an iron or steel? Boy, those are for beginners. Are you sure? It's just about how you use them, right? Too true. Alright, so I'm gonna do for you. Placed on the counter in front of them were free swords. Right, shut up, you're ruining it. Placed on the counter in front of them were free swords. You wrote this. Don't find it funny. Placed on the counter in front of them were 3 swords. One was just a standard iron with all nicks for it. The next was a more well kept, and the right was a standard steel. Cheapest from the left, best prices you can get. Ray was inspecting the swords himself, as he too has an eye for Wally. Are you kidding me? 70 silver for steel. I'd like to find you find it. I'd like to find. I'd like to see you find cheaper quality for this boy. Well, what do you think about this one? Aqua was at the other side of the room, rummaging through a barrel of various weapons. She pulled out a thin platinum sword. How much? That was from the discount pile. That one came from a dead adventurer just the other week. So cheap for what it is. 150. Good one. How much really? You certainly are no fun. 1 gold is the lowest I can go. Deal. Hope to see you come back alive, boy. Ray put a gold coin on the counter as they walked out the door. How did you manage to find a platinum sword and all that? Oh, I'm quite good at magic detection. I'm just happy to help. Good job. This can be flipped for twice as much. A grin was on his face. Were you much of a merchant by chance? Nah, just picked up some useful knowledge after a few years. Can you teach me sometime? Sure, I'd be happy to. What route should we take through the forest, you think? I'd like to cut through and go the fastest way possible, but I guess we'll run into even more monsters that way. It's up to you. The shortest route is by far going through, and I guess we can't go all the way around it and pay for a wagon too. Do you think we can handle it? Yeah, I know we can. How can you be so sure? You've never seen me fight. I'm quite good at magic detection, remember? Ray was surprised for a second, but then laughed it off. So, what have you known for all this time? I know you're more powerful than you give off. After being with you all day, I think I have a better idea. She tried to hold in her laughter, but couldn't fully, even with a hand over her mouth. You don't have to hide who you are. I'm sure everyone will be fine with it. Weak laughter was coming from Ray now. If only that were true. Listen, Ray, I want to know more about you, and I want you to know more about me on this journey. I want to be friends, see? You don't have to tell me now, but just know I'll accept you for whoever you are. I can't be rude to someone who's helping me out this much now. The calm girl from before was now showing her new, serious side. Thanks, Aqua. Now, don't be so hard on yourself. They looked at each other fondly. That was all current chapters
Oh my god, that was all current
of
chapters.
6 and 1.
You can find this
Yeah.
on Royal Road 6 and 1 Journey of a Past Mistake. Oh my god, this is the best series ever. I love this.
That
Get
was less. That was quicker than I thought it would be. I was really expecting to get to like half of it and be like, "Oh my god, how is this still going? I'm dying."
It wasn't that bad. It's
Yeah, I
only the
actually,
first 3 chapters, anyways. Don't worry, we'll do this in another 3 weeks when the next 3 chapters
yeah,
come
sure,
out.
sure.
Have you done?
This is
Have you
gonna be a
done
Can,
it
repeating
all?
can
series.
assemble like a whole audiobook of this.
Have
Yeah.
you done it all?
Any ending comments, guys, before I stop recording?
I love this so
Uh,
much. My God, I would tell my
Come
children
back next
on the
week
next
on
chapter.
RoyalRoad.com.
Yeah, go to
At
royalroad.com to
Quebec Girl.
actually, get there, instantly, find out what's happening. Also, donate to my Patreon. I love money.
Where is that? That doesn't
Send me
fucking
some
exist.
pizza.
Alright, I'm ending this. Goodbye.